What's up, Nail Geeks? I am back with Hella Handmade Creations April 2021 contributions to show you guys. This time I have 9 polishes to show you all, and these are so pretty. So let's dive right into the swatches. First up is by Danny Viana, If I Were a Rose. This is described as a sunflower yellow crelly with a mix of brown metallic glitter and holographic flakes. This is part of her mixed tape series and is specifically inspired by the Sierra Burgess is a loser, and the price on it will be $12.50 and there is a cap of 100 bottles. So once again, no surprise here, we have a wonderful, creamy, smooth formula from this brand. This is very easy on those brush strokes. I gave my bottle a good shake before applying, and as you can see, I got a nice mixture of the tiny flakes and the glitters onto my nail. This is what I would describe, at least the base color, as definitely being this sunflower sort of yellow, but in my opinion, it does have quite a bit of a mustard yellow sort of vibe to it. It does self-level very well and it dries down somewhat flat, so I'm going to suggest a really good glossy top coat to finish. And next is Cuticula Brave Enough. This is a royal purple holographic base with shiny metallic flakes in turquoise, blue, and rose gold, and it is part of her Lindsay Sterling series. I think this is the last one in this series. Price is $12.50 and there is no cap. This is delicious, you guys. It's so pretty in person. So much holographic flaky action happening with it. When I was polishing with it, I went in slow and just super smooth because it was so satisfying on buildup. So for full coverage, I'm going to suggest 2 coats on it. As you can see on the second coat, it is just fabulous and it built up so well, especially given how much flakes are in this. Now, this doesn't necessarily dry down textured per se because these are flakes, but it does dry down quite thirsty. So I'm going to suggest a really good, somewhat thicker glossy top coat to finish off with. And next is Femme Fatale Raspberry Truffle. This is described as a murky brown toned purple base filled with ruby microflakes, ruby red metallic micro glitters, and a smattering of red to green pigment. This is part of her candy series. Price is $14 and there is no cap. This polish is another absolutely stunning one. This month for the ones that I reviewed for HHC have been something else. These are so stunning in person, and Raspberry Truffle is pretty much a vampy polish lover's dream in my opinion, and I typically don't gravitate towards vampier colors, but this is phenomenal. And I think given that it's one of these duskier sort of murky type of colors, even still, I think this is going to pop on any skin tone. Like, I typically shy away from darker colors on polish, but this is just, it's very pretty. Now for opacity, I'm going to suggest between 2 and 3 coats depending on how you polish. I had no trouble at 2 coats getting it to full coverage, and it does dry down a little bit on the matte side, so again, you're seeing a glossy top coat. And next is Hearts and Promises When You're a Jet. This is described as a light purple linear hollow with deep pink shimmer. This is part of her Broadway musicals series, and specifically West Side Story. Price is $12.50 and there is a cap of 200 bottles. So When You're a Jet has a very jelly-like formula in my opinion. It does start off quite a bit on the lighter side, and overall it has this very much lighter sort of feel in how it builds up and how it applies. So if you have a prominent free edge and say you want to wear it at 2, maybe 3 light coats, I think depending on that, you may want to use a nail line blurring base coat of some type. I personally found that in really bright lights on the 3rd coat, I did see just a touch of my smile line. It wasn't super obvious in person, but again, when I'm in the bright lights, I could see just a touch of it. Now, this does have a nice pinky sort of cast to the shimmer effect, and it does have a very strong holographic effect in the sunlight as well. This dries down semi-gloss, so I think any top coat will be perfect. And next we have MLF Lacquer Metamorphosis. This is described as a deep green linear hollow with a lighter green magnetic pigment. This is the next polish in her Butterfly series. Price is $11 and there is a cap of 100 bottles. So I actually, the first time I swatched this one, I actually did not realize it was a magnetic. So I will throw in one of those swatches at the recap of the video so you guys can see it. I actually think it looks phenomenal unmagnetized, but I was pleasantly surprised that when I magnetized it, when I did it correctly the second time, it looked really, really cool too. So the magnetic pigment for Metamorphosis is very reactive, and I held the magnet over my nails for roughly 20 seconds, and it gives you this really strong green type of magnetic look, and the background takes on this murky sort of dusky, almost gray leaning type of black base. Now this has a really nice formula to it, so if you are new to magnetic polish, my typical spiel is you want your last coat to be pretty generous in terms of your coat amount. You want to go just a touch heavier to make sure that you have plenty of magnetic pigment to get to come into the center of your nail wherever your magnet is, and it just gives you that stronger looking pigment appearance. So again, you are seeing a glossy top coat on my full hand shot here, lots of movement with the pigment, but again, I want to remind you guys, make sure you magnetize your glossy top coat layer as well. And next is Nail Artisan Cosmetics Rebel Princess. This is described as a bright rose cream base adorned with a sparkling golden shimmer, part of her Star Wars series inspired by everyone, including my favorite princess. Price is $13 and there's a cap of 100 bottles. I am in love with this color too. This is a perfect, flattering, wonderful pink base. It's absolutely lovely. And the shimmer is quite strong in person. So in indoor lighting, absolutely you're going to see quite a bit of this golden, sparkly sheen to it. And in sunlight, the sparkling, shimmery effect is a bit stronger. Now this does dry down, bordering on being almost a matte because it's quite flat. And I'm going to suggest a good glossy top coat here as well. But wonderful, creamy, smooth formula, very easy to apply, stays exactly where you put it. And again, that pink base is just so, so pretty. And next is Night Owl Lacquer, the sword that seals the darkness. This is a glowing green aqua blue shift with lots of holographic micro flakies and sprinkled with charcoal flakes. This is part of her Breath of the Wild series. Price is $12.80 and there is no cap. This is so gorgeous. Again, I'll say it again this month and I will keep repeating it until this series is over for Night Owl. I love this series, and not just because I'm a big time fan of the video game itself, but she's really nailed it, pun intended, for her inspirations for the series. This has a wonderful, smooth, somewhat curly formula to it. It's got a strong metallic feel on how you apply, and it's just really lovely to build up. This is quite strong in terms of this shimmery sort of effect, but it's also quite blingy too in terms of sparkle factor. Very, very wonderful. I think most are going to be okay at 2 coats, unless of course you have longer nails. And next is Pampered Polishes Couch Burners. This is described as a bold boysenberry jelly loaded with a variety of silver, platinum, holographic, and iridescent flakes, accompanied by a smattering of a scattered hollow. This is part of her Bob's Burgers series. Price is $12.50 and there is no cap. So this has a very jelly-like formula to it. It's got quite a bit of a squishy factor. So I'm going to suggest going in very thin on your coats just to prevent over buildup, and go in lightly and true to a jelly formula. This absolutely deepens out as you go up to your coats. So personally, I think 3 light coats on it really help that nice berry tone to pop very well and deepen out. I do think those of you with shorter nails might be able to get away with 2 coats, but that color is going to come off just a touch lighter. So you can see on the 3rd coat, what I'm talking about, it absolutely deepens out. And this is quite sparkly in person, so it's got this strong, scattered, sparkly effect, and it dries down semi-gloss. So honestly, I think any top coat will be perfectly fine with it. And you can see on the full hand shot just how nice and deep and flattering this berry color is. And last but not least, we have Penelope Loose. This is Avalon, described as a blue base with iridescent flakes and galaxy glitters. This is part of her King Arthur series. Price is $13 and there's a cap of 200 bottles. So at this point, I think you guys can guess how I feel about this particular polish. It is lovely, and when you build it up, it's so stunning. It's a very strong, vibrant, striking sort of medium blue, and the flakes are really strong in this one, so you'll get a really wonderful pond effect. Now, it does have a strong squishy factor to it, so again, I'm going to suggest trying not to go in too heavy on your coats just to prevent a lot of overbuilding on it, and just allow it to slowly build up. So 2 to 3 coats I think is perfect. I wanted to see what a third thin coat would look like, and I really think it popped really well. So in my opinion, I think 3 very light coats will flatter this one the best. Now, I didn't have any problems in terms of texture or like over thirstiness on it, but it does dry down flat. So I'm still going to suggest a good glossy top coat for this to just make sure that all those flakes pop. And you can see on my full hand shot, it's really, really popping. Very, very nice. Now, Hella Handmade Creations starts for pre-order April 14th at 12:01 a.m. Eastern Time and will run until April 21st at 11:59 p.m. Hawaiian time. I'll link you guys below to the shop. The preview is currently up right now, so you can check out these 9 polishes and many, many more that are going to be available this month. And I'll also link you guys to the Facebook group if you'd like to see additional swatches, all that good stuff. This month was so good. I genuinely, I enjoy swatching in general, regardless, and working with polish. I'm an absolute nerd about it, but these are so, so pretty. As always, if you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching.